In our previous class, we have an enterprise. We form an enterprise by using enterprise structure configurator. In next few classes, 2 to 3 classes, we will go through how to establish an enterprise manually. So,
Okay.
so all when we have a large organization and large number of business units, departments, legal entities, it's good to go with manual way of establishing the enterprise through functional way. So there are different technical tools like data loaders, which is what we do when we get a real-time implementation. But we can also do it by manually these things. So for that we have to go to FSM environment. So here we create an implementation project, which finds easy to us. Manage implementation project. In this implementation project, we create an implementation project. For example, say that is saying to me next.
So what is this project used for?
What is the
No, why we are using this project?
why? Because whenever any company comes, if you go for an implementation project, we can assign each module to each thing, and we can do it in a single implementation project. This is just for our easy editing all these things. That's it.
Okay.
Configuration. So here we choose our module. So we choose workforce deployment. So if you choose workforce deployment, core HR is default. Addition with core HR, we will take payroll module.
Okay.
And we will save and open the project. So whatever we can do functional setup where we do our FSM, there also we can do, here also we can do. There are n number of implementation projects available. If you see when we are creating implementation projects, where in first implementation project, if you do today, and in second implementation project, if you do later, both will reflect here. This is only for our sake we are creating implementation project. In which implementation project we implemented something, it comes to our domain.
Okay.
So that doesn't hold. For example, I created Sriram Enterprise as an implementation project under our enterprise structure. There might be other person creating in the same FSM environment. Both the changes will reflect.
Okay.
While we are doing the things.
Okay.
Okay. The first thing here we are going to create is location. So where our company is present, if you see locations, so location says where our company is doing the business. So that forms a location.
Okay.
Next, so before creating location, we have to create reference data set. Why? Because we have to assign the location to the reference data set.
Oh, okay.
And this reference data set can be assigned to the business unit so that it can be assigned to business unit. As I said in the first class, location cannot be assigned directly to the business unit. Location should be assigned to reference data set, likewise in positions, jobs, grades, departments. So here also we can form a reference data set here. So
for
first,
business unit also we can use RDS, right?
no, business unit, we assign RDS to business unit.
Okay.
So for example, we are having finance department. Finance department is assigned to a reference data set and assigned to business unit.
Okay.
Okay, if you see this structure, we can assign department to RDS. And this RDS was assigned to business unit so that this department was linked to business unit. This department directly cannot link with business unit.
Okay.
It has to be assigned to RDS and then RDS was assigned to business unit.
Okay.
We will see how we assign RDS to business unit, how we get departments to the RDS. We assign departments to RDS.
Okay.
Okay. First, create a go for task manage manage reference data set. So under manage different data set, we will create our difference data set. So just we create for locations, we are creating difference data set now. So keep our interface. So save it. Must be of uppercase. Okay. Must be. Sorry. Set code must be of uppercase. So this is how we create reference data set. Then we go for locations. So all these locations are assigned to this reference data set. In manage locations, we'll go for manage location task. So here we create our locations.
So locations, grades. What are the
So
other two
first
things
we create
that are
location.
attached to? No, what are the 4 things that are attached to the RDS? Location,
So
grade.
department, we create location under a location won't forms in this enterprise. Location for every unit we need location.
Correct.
So we create a location. So what are assigned to RDS is department, job, and grade.
And location.
Location.
And look.
Yeah, but location is not part of workforce structure.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
So here we can give, so effective started from where we are having our location. Here we can give our location reference data set.
Yes.
Which we created earlier.
Position also comes attached to this one, right? RDS?
No, position is not attached to reference data set.
Okay.
Position is
unit?
assigned directly to business unit.
Okay. Good, you learned a lot, man. Super, good. I'm enjoying it.
Next, here we have action. Why we are creating locations. So in next session, we will go with how we create action reasons, how we create actions, and how we create action reasons. We will read that. So here in action reason, why we are creating location, we will give an action reason.
Yeah.
Okay. For example, here create a location called as Hyderabad location. Keep it as status is active. If there are any inventory units under this location, we can mention. If not, it's not compulsory. We can go with.
That is for finance, right?
Yeah, finance. So here The context values are descriptive flex fields. When we are going with the topic descriptive flex fields, we can study that descriptive flex fields.
Okay.
Okay. We can have in country as India. Telangana state. We can have a pin code for this. What is the Hyderabad pin code? I am not aware of currently. It's asking for a pin code.
You Bangalore pin code. 560095 something.
Time zone. We can go with any time zone. For example, Kolkata time zone. It's not compulsory. Can give an Hyderabad. This is all we can have under locations. These are all fields we can give. In time being, we can create this location. Save. We can have an address line like
we can always come back and edit it, right?
Yeah, we can always come back and edit. Need to enter 6-digit pin code. Okay. Your changes are saved. Okay. HUID. Sriram Private Limited HUID we created. Next, submit it. Search for our location. So, if you see, this is the location which we created. If you want to edit it, we have two options. One is update and correct.
Yeah.
This is called as date tracking. What is update do and what is correction do here.
Yeah.
So go for correction. I will give it an example. Date tracking. If you see here,
update means one more row will be created, right?
Correct. If we go for example, Samira is an employee. She is having a salary of $12,500 and she is a clerk. And from 1st January 2012 to 2019, she is being a clerk. So if you do an update, you will get a history. This first row will be end dated. At July 19th, it is end dated. And another row is created where we can find the history in update.
Correct.
So, but tracking. If
tracking, you can have
day tracking, we can have a day tracking. So that's if you go with the
that's why in the job details, like whenever a person gets promotion, like for example, he starts with employee, then after 2-3 years he becomes a manager, then he becomes senior manager. So all those things we can
all those things we update.
In the, so we'll get the view. When you click on view history, it will show everything. Correct.
Correct. But if you correct it, the previous row become 0 and the same row will be corrected.
Overwritten.
Overwritten, the word to be used. Okay, so that is the difference between update and correct. So we can say that here we can add some email ID. For example, this is at the rate of invalid.com. And we can have a language like American English, and we can have a geographical hierarchy if anything present, or we can leave it and we can submit it. We do our changes and we submitted it.
Okay.
So if you see our thing, the changes what we updated is we added an email ID. That one will be populated, has to be populated here. That one, yeah, it doesn't have population. I think history, if you see the history, doesn't have populator. Okay, we can do once more. Why it doesn't got populator? It takes, sometimes it takes time to populate the things here.
So that's casual visa, no?
Yeah. So we'll search it again. Go for edit. So here it is populated, if you see.
Right.
So this is how we create our locations. So after creating locations, we had come up with all the effective stat. If you see the effective stat in location field, we have the things like attributes like effective start date. So from which date our location is valid. And then we have location set where we mentioned RDS, which we created for location. Next, we have action reasons. These action reasons we will study detailedly when we are creating job and job families. There I will explain you how we create actions, how we create action reasons to the prescribed action, so that here if you see we get an option called as reorganization. We can add n number of options what we decide there.
Okay.
Then we have name, then we have code, then we have status, then we have inventory organization and main address. These are the major location attributes what we had. Okay. In next class, we will go through legal entity, legislative data group, ledgers, and then we will go with how it can be a legal, how we can do a legal entity into a legal employer, and how we can do a legal entity to a PSU, payroll statutory unit. How can we link a LDG to legal entity? These all things we will discuss in our next class.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.